I want to go over a comment we received a few days ago from Julius Wyszynski. You guys are the best. Much respect from the great state of Idaho, where the potatoes roam free. I replied back that my brother is visiting Idaho this week and he's going to stay there for a week. And Julius replied back, I sent you all a gift in the mail yesterday. Keep an eye out for it. Thanks for all you do with the great video content. Really helpful and fun. Best content. Thanks, Julius. Looking forward to it. Today we received a letter from Julius. A letter. I did not know that this was coming from him because the name on the envelope is JNS Wyszynski, same last name, but I did not realize that this envelope came from him. I already opened it and big surprise. Big surprise. Nice letter and $100. Let me just read the letter quick. Maybe I'll take a snapshot of the letter and post it along with the video. Dear Alex and NorthridgeFix family, I just wanted to send you something to show my thanks in a more meaningful way than just words. I have been binge watching your repair videos and truly appreciate the time and effort you put into producing them. The excellence of your work and commitment to your customers is one of the finest quality and something to be very proud of. I also wanted to make mention of a video you did about being honorable. You had accidentally dropped a tablet and broke the screen. You spoke about religion and how it is more important to do the right thing than making money. This is nothing short of amazing, and it is certain that God looks well upon you. This mindset above all things is most inspiring. My wife and I own a dog training company in northern Idaho, methodk9.com. We specialize in rehabilitating dogs with extreme behavioral issues and work with dogs from all over the world. If we may ever assist you in a meaningful way, please reach out. P.S. Please use the money on lunch. You need to eat more. I just watched a video where it was 1:30 p.m. and you hadn't had breakfast yet. All the best. Thank you, Julius. I really appreciate it. I appreciate the gift and I appreciate the letter. It really made my day. And I know which video Julius is talking about. It's the video where we had an iPad Pro 9.7 inch that came in for some type of motherboard issue. So I was prying the screen open when we had the customer come in. I got up to speak to the customer and the tablet fell on the floor and the screen broke. The tablet was mailed over to us from I do not know what state, but I could have easily told the customer that it's the post office that broke it. We received the tablet with a broken screen and the customer would have understood and maybe told me to change the screen for him and paid for the screen. But no, I mentioned in the video, if the customer cannot see that I broke the screen, God can. I'm a godly person. I believe in God and I believe in being honest, and we were raised that way. And this goes to show how honesty pays off. I posted the video about maybe 8-9 months ago, and up till today I cannot tell you how much donations we received because of that video. The owner of the tablet himself, he sent us an email a few days after he watched the video and he paid for the screen in full. Even though I'm the person who broke the screen, he wanted to pay for the screen in full, and I told him that he does not have to do that, and he said, no, I want to do it because you are being honest. It goes to show how honesty pays off. You may think that being honest will get you in trouble. It may be true for some situations. Maybe you want to lie, or maybe you want to be dishonest just to get yourself out of trouble, but you have to understand that being honest will work out in your favor in the long run. A lot of people did not respond positively to religion, and they said that you do not need religion to be honest. I respect your opinion, I respect your beliefs, and I just wish that you do the same for me. We are born pure. We are born honest. It's life that changes the person. I understand some people, maybe circumstances made them what they are today, whether they are dishonest or whatever the case may be. But I believe that 3 things a person should hold on to no matter what: your belief in God, honesty, and your dignity. No matter what happens, if you hold on to those, you should be okay. So Julius, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. This letter really made my day. I cannot thank you enough. And let's proceed with the repair. In this repair video, we're going to be working on the S9 Plus, Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. It came in for no power and no charge. Big Boss already tried to replace the charge and flex cable, and he said that there's absolutely no signs of life with this phone. Now, we took the motherboard out right here, and I'm going to inspect the charging circuit area of the board, and it looks like the customer did tamper with this board before he mailed it here. Let me show you what I mean. On this side of the board, there's a plate that goes on top of those components, and you can see the plate has been taken out and ripped from its pads. Not a big deal, but that's not the way you remove a plate. We usually apply hot air until solder liquefies, and then we pull that plate away from the board. I'm interested in looking at this circuit here. I want to test capacitors at random and see if we have a short of any type anywhere on this area of the board. The charging flex cable plugs in here, and a lot of what's going on here deals with the charging circuit of the phone. So meter in diode mode, right probe on ground, and I want to just test capacitors at random. So I'm going to place my probe on ground, which is right here. And then we're going to randomly test capacitors to see if we have a short. This cap is good. This cap is good. 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 And let's test this diode also. Good. And I want to test the big cap that we see here, and we have a short here. We have a short on this cap. Now, in the past, we replaced this voltage regulator, which solved our issue. I do not know if this cap has any direct contact with this chip, but based on my experience working on those boards, replacing this chip solved our issue. So I do have it in stock, and we're going to go ahead and replace the chip. Again, I'm going based on my experience working on those phones. I never had to change anything else on this part of the circuit except for that chip. That solved our problem. And back then it was trial and error. And that's why I keep mentioning that experience plays a big role in figuring out problems. You've worked on this device before. You build a pattern over time, and you know that the cause of the problem is that particular component. Now, I may be wrong. Right now, right off the bat, I see signs of flux. I see signs of flux. So customer probably replaced something on this board. I do not know. Whoa, look at this mess under the chip. We still have a short. What about resistance to ground? Let's check resistance to ground. We still have a short. The next thing I want to do is remove this chip and see if we still have a short on this capacitor. I'm 99.9% sure customer replaced this IC because of the amount of flux we saw under that chip. And this is a very crowded area, so we just have to be careful. Just like that. The chip may be good, but maybe it's not soldered on properly. We do not know. Alright, so that should be good enough. Let's go ahead and test the capacitor to see if we still have a short. And we still have a short. Right now the problem is neither this chip or this chip because we still have a short. And we do not know where that short is coming from, but we're gonna try to figure that out. I'm gonna use our mechanic short finder and we're gonna adjust it to 1.2 volts. And we're gonna place our ground probe on ground and red probe on the cap. And look at that, we do have a short, 2.4 amps being drawn. And the capacitor smoked. Look at that. Capacitor smoking is an indication that the problem is the capacitor itself. Because otherwise something else would have gotten hot and smoked and not the capacitor. The reason it smoked is because we still have flux here. Problem is very likely the capacitor. Smoke on this area is a very good indication that we may have a problem with the capacitor itself, because if something else was the problem, let's say the power IC or the CPU or whatever the case may be, then heat would spread to that area of the board and not be confined to this one area, causing the capacitor or flux to actually smoke. Let's test one more time. Yeah. Okay, let's remove the capacitor and see if we still have a short. I have a very strong feeling that the problem is this capacitor. I do not know the value of the capacitor. I have to look this up. And let's see, do we still have a short? Meter in diode mode. Red probe on ground. This is the ground pad, and look at that, short is gone. This is ground and the short is gone. So the problem is the capacitor. Wow. Problem is solved. Right now I do not know the value of the capacitor, and I do not have the second chip that we took out in stock. I need to get both of them before we finish this video. But the good thing is we were able to locate where the short is coming from, thanks to the mechanic short finder. I mean, this tool is amazing. This tool is amazing, along with the other short killer that we have. The reason I love this is because it's portable, it's battery operated. I injected 1.2 volts and we immediately saw smoke come out of that capacitor. Usually, that's not always the case. When you inject voltage, whatever component is short into ground will get hot. So usually we use a thermal camera to see what is getting hot on the board. But because we saw smoke on that capacitor, it's a clear indication that the problem is the capacitor itself. So this short finder is honestly a priceless tool. It's like diamond, priceless tool. I spoke about this device before. It's the mechanic short finder. Very easy to use. Turn it on, choose the voltage. In this case, I chose 1.2. You have 1.2, 1.8, 3.2, and 3.8. I started with 1.2, injected voltage, and we immediately saw smoke come out of that capacitor. So I'm glad that we were able to figure out the problem. All we have to do is figure out the value of that capacitor and buy the second chip that we took out. I do not have it in stock. And we'll do a part 2 of this video. That's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll do something else in the next video.